Now, penguins are birds, but they're a very special type of bird because they don't fly in the air. We like to say they fly in the water, and they actually do that using their wings that have developed into very stiff flippers, and then they can steer with those webbed feet and that nice wedged tail. So what we're doing right now is actually feeding our penguins a lot of fish. Our penguins get fed 3 times a day. This is their 3rd feeding of the day. You'll notice they can swallow those fish whole. They actually have tongues that are a lot like conveyor belts. If you get really close and you happen to see one of our penguins, when they open the mouth, the tongue has ridges that are kind of little like hooks that face backwards, and they can use that to really pull that fish right down. Now they do get fed several different types of fish. It's actually a herring right now that one is eating. Herring are usually the largest fish that we give to our penguins. There he goes. Now they also get fish like sardines, they eat capelin, anchovies, lots of variety to make sure their feathers stay nice and healthy and they get all the nutrients they need. Now, great thing about the fish is we can actually hide things like vitamins and different medications right in the fish, and the penguin will just swallow it down. We do have a full-time vet staff that makes sure our penguins are nice and healthy. A lot of times we get people that will ask, is it really warm here for our penguins? But the African penguin is more of a temperate weathered species. So they do prefer temperatures that are right about the same as we do, right about 70 degrees. But the waters off the coast of Africa are very cold, so the water temperature right now is no problem for them. They can stay outside during the winter here. You also notice our penguins have 2 kind of distinct colorations. We have some penguins that are juveniles and some penguins that are adults. The adults have the stark black and white coloration. The juveniles are more of the bluish gray. There's one of the juveniles right there with the orange stripe on his band. You also notice that all of our penguins are banded until they lose their band, like this one right here. The bands actually serve to help us tell our penguins apart. We can tell them apart when they're swimming and from distances away using the different colorations on their bands. We can also tell our penguins apart by the patterns of spotting on their breast. All African penguins have a different pattern of spots on the breast, and that is how individual penguins can tell each other apart as well. Does anybody have any questions about our African penguins? Do you have a question?
Yes.
What's your question?
Do they use their feet to swim too?
Yeah, they can use their feet to swim. A lot of times they'll use their feet to help them steer. So they use their flippers or their wings to really propel them through the water. They can go like this, and that pushes them forward through the water. And then the feet can go back and forth, and they kind of work like the rudder on a boat to help them steer left and right to be able to catch all those fish. Now, since some of our penguins are getting really close up, you might notice on their eyes they actually have 3 different eyelids. There's a top eyelid, a lower eyelid, and another eyelid that comes down from corner to corner in the eye. This is actually called a nictitating membrane. What the nictitating membrane does is serve as kind of a swim goggle for the penguins. They come down over the eyes, they're transparent, so the penguin can still see through it, but it protects their eyes while they're swimming underwater. So, any other questions? Do you have another question?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, how do they not nip their fingers while they're feeding them?
How do they not bite people's fingers while they're eating? So all of our penguins were actually hand-raised, and so they've been hand-fed throughout their entire life, so they're pretty good about taking those fish right out of people's hands. You notice some of them we do kind of throw the fish to them. We have a couple that are a little bit shy. You also see the penguins swallow the fish head first, and there's a very good reason for that. If you've ever taken your finger the wrong way on a fish's scales, they're very rough, so swallowing head first helps it go down just a little more easily. And they do have their own little penguin hierarchy in there. Our oldest penguin, Stanley, I'll point him out if he comes close, is the one that has kind of a bow tie under his